Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. You might recognise who this is. This is Olli Phelps, and we've already played 3 holes together, which will be on your YouTube channel at some point.
Yep, called Aiming for Scratch. So basically I'm documenting my journey of trying to get from a 6.7 handicapper all the way down to scratch, and Incy has just done a masterclass on that last hole, so check it out, it's on there.
I did my absolute best, but we're just going to play 3 holes. Just really would love to know how you got into golf and actually just see how your game's at. We're on the 4th hole here at the Manor House Golf Club, and it's absolutely stunning. We stayed at the Manor House itself. The accommodation was beautiful. So yeah, really enjoying the stay so far, but we're starting hot on a par 3, so good luck to us. It is so blustery out here. This is an absolute monster of a start.
Okay.
Shall I go first?
Yes, please.
So how long have you been playing golf for?
I've been playing golf for quite a few years now, without giving my age away too much. Probably like 20 years.
Wow.
Now probably a bit more, so it's, yeah, when we were filming it was definitely kind of one of the only things I could do.
Yeah. Oh, go on.
Oh, be the club.
Tell you what. I'll take that, mate.
Shot.
Ollie! Hole-in-one territory!
Oh.
What a shot! Wow.
Right, can we finish there?
Yeah.
Is that good? Like...
Drop the mic. I kind of want to go back to the very, very start. How did you even get into it?
So we heard through a friend of my mum's actually that there was an open audition for all the roles, and there were 2 auditions taking place, one in London and one in Leeds, and we grew up in Sutton Coldfield in North Birmingham, so Leeds is the closer one to go to, so we went to there, and it was just ridiculous. Like the amount of people there was just like, you're talking thousands.
What is it like? I mean, I'm an only child.
Okay.
Don't have any siblings. And I've spoken to Nikolai about this because obviously his twin brother's Rasmus.
Yep.
In the golfing world, you've got Eduardo and Franco Molinari as well.
Yep.
There's a lot of brothers out there.
Yep.
The rivalry must be crazy, but obviously for you in acting, you're kind of doing the same thing, same sort of role. Was there any rivalry?
Yeah, there was a big rivalry, yeah, and we actually got to a point where we thought we're not even going to go for the same parts.
Really?
Because, I mean, most of the time you're judged, certainly in the preliminary audition, on your look.
Yeah.
Do you look the part?
Yeah.
So if I'm going in for it and I don't look right, he's definitely not going to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or if it is, I'm going to be questioning
Is that why
myself.
you guys dress differently as twins? I think I heard that somewhere. Whereas all the other twins were identical.
Yeah, so we went for the first audition
Uh-huh.
for Potter, which was an open call for every role.
Right.
And we suddenly realised that all these other kids were wearing the exact same clothes. We're just not. So we bolted over the road before we got into CNA, as it was then. And yeah, chose the same clothing, and that was it. So. It was the first time I ever saw like the show mom.
Wow.
It's like my mum and dad are just sat there and we're just like waiting, seeing what's going on. These other little girls there like getting really worked up, and her mum's going, come on, you've worked your whole life for this. Like all this pressure on this, she's probably about 10. Yeah. I was kind of like, what's going on, you know? And then you must see my daughter again. She didn't do a very good job there. Do it again, like really pushing it. They've got like, and this is before smartphones or anything like that. So everything was, you know, people would take their own headshots.
Wow.
We didn't have anything. So we get there and they said, have you got a headshot? No. Okay, we'll get a Polaroid. And they took a Polaroid of us. And that's kind of where, I think that we were just completely green to the whole thing. But that probably helped us because we were just, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, who knows? And then we got through that audition, then got a call back a couple of times. And the callbacks was with the head casting director, Janet, who actually did this in the first audition, coincidentally enough. And then you've got Chris Clemens, the director, and David Hemming, the producer. So we kind of just sat there, went through lines, and then over the course of the summer of 2000, and then got a call saying, yeah, you got the part.
Really?
Then about 3 days later, I'm getting my hair dyed bright ginger. So I remember the Metro paper once, it was like National Ginger Day, and they put a photo of James and me on the top header. And I was like,
fake news.
Yeah, I know, that was it. I was like, I shouldn't say anything.
Absolute fraudster.
Yeah, so people do actually get quite funny about it. They say, oh, you're not really ginger. So I say, well, we didn't actually fly broomsticks either, so it's all part of it.
Sit. Oh, girl's got work to do. smashed it.
Oh, hit it. Hit it.
Wicked 3.
Thank you.
Growing up, can you match your kind of everyday personality as the character? I mean, I've heard about method actors and stuff like that. Do you almost become the character that you've been for pretty much the majority of your life at one point, or can you segregate the two?
There is a bit of the two. I mean, I am quite a bit like that character anyway, in terms of I like to think I'm relatively easy to get on with. There are traits like pulling practical jokes. I will be always front and centre to try and do that. Even now, I'll be doing it. So we try and do, that does seep in after a while, but then I suppose like anything, the older you get, you kind of separate a bit from that.
How have you found your journey in trying to get back down to scratch?
To be honest, it's still a learning experience because I did a couple of tester rounds where I would just go and play. But then I try and record every shot on my own.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, the last thing you're thinking about is golf.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking ahead of like, how are you going to edit it? Does it sound right? Does it work
I'm pretty
right?
impressed that you edit all your videos yourself.
Yeah, I don't know, I just enjoy it. I just enjoy
amazing.
going through
Fair
it.
play. Right, come on, let's stripe one.
Ooh, get down.
Soft.
Yeah, that's the line. Lovely shot.
Have you had loads of lessons then since your kind of journey back down to scratch?
No, I've only had 2 so far.
Right.
Which has been good. Originally it was just a recap, and then I went in saying to John, like, well, I'm duck hooking every now and like probably 2 out of 8
right.
drivers especially, and I was coming in and we looked it down, I was coming so far inside, it was literally like here.
Yeah, you were saying you were swinging it in to out like by 9 degrees or something.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. That's absurd.
When it works, it's fine, because
Yeah.
obviously draw, you're going to get more spin, you're going to get more run on the ball. I mean, is there anything you've done as it were, like coming back out to playing again this side of the winter? So
yeah, I mean, so I retired from competing 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I must admit, that was really challenging.
Yep.
To the point I would say I actually hated golf for about 2 years.
Right. Okay.
Because
Is that because it was your identity?
exactly.
As a golfer?
So I've just devoted my whole life towards trying to be the best golfer I could be. I've just worked so hard to get there, and it didn't quite work out. I've kind of found my love and passion for it again, and now, you know, if I hit a bad shot, it doesn't matter. Just go find it or drop a ball and hit it again. Whereas before, it would ruin my day.
Yeah, talking about hating, I'm hating the look of where my ball's been.
I hate finding golf balls as well. I hate searching for them. You want to find that, don't you? Because it's got your face on it.
So, is this a par 4 or a par 5?
Par 4.
So Colin Montgomery once, I was lucky enough to sit next to him at a breakfast and asked him, what's the easiest way to get your handicap down?
Yeah.
And he said, percentage golf. Don't look at, say, here, you've probably got under a 10% chance of getting it through, whereas you go there, you've got an 80% chance of getting it out.
At the same time,
This is YouTube. I want to make sure
and the
it's
wind's
there.
off the right.
I want to look good. Or just fan it out there. That'll work.
Perfect.
That'll work.
That's absolutely fine. Are you quite competitive naturally?
I don't think so,
Right.
but
Oh, there I am.
certainly. Actually, no, I do. I am
You
very
are?
competitive. Yeah, if you're not in it to win, don't bother. Playing a card game, I'm in it to win. You know. Playing Uno with my little one, I'm in it to win.
Go hard.
Go. Yeah, well done.
I think from an outsider's perspective, when you look at the journey of Harry Potter and what it became eventually, did you know at the very start how big it would be?
No,
This would be what, 1990 something, or was it early 2000s?
2000 when we started.
Right.
And I suppose like anyone at that age, you think that every film is big. Every film is going to be huge, it's big budget, everything's like that. So there's a bit of ignorance to it and naivety, but you see all this press attention what it was getting. So we knew it was always going to be popular. Did we know we were going to be doing it for as long as we were doing?
Yeah.
I certainly didn't. And then in terms of the popularity level, it seemed to just keep. I remember in between films, so the film would come out, I could go down the street and get recognised, and that would happen. And then all of a sudden, it would literally turn off. And I'd be filming and wouldn't be getting recognised much. This is like going clubbing or anything like that, nothing. And I'd say bright ginger hair. So I kind of thought, well, when the last film finishes, that's done. hopefully do some more stuff. But yeah, like you get with a lot of big things. But the films went out on the highest high. I remember the final premiere in Trafalgar Square was just tens of thousands of people there. And we went all over the world promoting it, which was great little perk. And it just stayed there. It just stayed at this real popularity, this great appreciation from the fans. Now there's a new generation of fans coming into it. So yeah, very, very lucky, and I didn't foresee that happening.
So you can get nervous out on the golf course. Did you ever get nervous on set?
Not necessarily on set, because it's a closed shop. It's a closed shop there. You got quite a safe space. You got a camera. You can yell cut. Whereas if you go on a stage, like to perform a play or anything like that, yeah, then you can get.
Have you done many shows? Like
a bit, yeah. I did a touring play a couple of years ago, which was really good fun.
How does like theatre actors and actresses learn a whole script? It's just outrageous.
There's different ways of doing it. So I actually researched the best way to retain information.
Right.
Best way to retain information is if you're learning something and then have a nap or before you go to sleep.
Have a nap?
Yeah, you're more likely to retain the information than if you cram.
I'll just be like napping throughout the whole day then.
Yeah, I mean, I used to sleep a lot at school, but it didn't work.
That's amazing. It sounds like your mentality, it's almost, you can look at the same picture through two different lenses and see a totally different image. So it looks like the lenses that you were looking through were really positive and making the most of it, whereas someone else could look through another lens and go, oh my God, I don't want to embarrass myself, I don't want to ruin this.
I mean, I've done that before.
Right.
I've done that
but you've
before,
all got experience,
we all do it. Like the worst, I remember being at the Mestalla football ground in Valencia. And it was Valencia versus, I can't remember who they were playing now, but we were invited to go, full house, 42,000 people. We went on the pitch to take a penalty shootout. First one got saved, second one went second tier. And by the end I'm like, all right, just tuck in the goal. The ground didn't eat me up, I didn't get pelted. Do you know what I mean? It's not the worst thing in the world. So
exactly.
There's no, and it's not my profession. That's the other thing. So once you see, okay, I'm not expected to do this, then fine. And if you're expected to do it, show them why you're expected to do it.
Exactly.
That's the mentality anyway. So.
Well, show me this up and down then.
Oh, I've pulled it.
When you came into acting, you weren't actually an actor, right?
No, so we were just,
How does that work? I mean, that must have been super challenging. No, or does it almost give you that freedom card?
I think it gives you that freedom, and also that's where Chris Columbus was so great as a director. He just encouraged that. And the other members of the cast, like the older members of the cast, you could ask them questions. How do you do this? Why do you do that? And that went throughout. Like I remember in the last film, there's a scene where I'm supposed to be bawling my eyes out, and I just asked Julie Walters, like, what's the best way to go about preparing for that? And just getting that. How do you prepare for it? Onions. Well, funny enough, yeah, you get into it. So I did it in like an emotional sense. So you set yourself when have you ever had tragedy like on that kind of level before? So you already get yourself in that emotional state. And yeah, she said, just if you do that before you go on camera, and then don't talk to anyone, because that'll take you out of it. She said, if anyone tries to talk to you, you can always go to them later and say, I'm sorry if I ignored you earlier, I was preparing. Everyone's got a job to do, they'll accept that. And then just before, so you get yourself all worked up, and then just before we started, before they put up the red lights, start rolling, one of the makeup girls came over with eucalyptus spray, blew it right out of my eyes, so I'm like streaming. So that's kind of where, so it is a bit of onions, yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. So many people ask me if I miss competing and playing, and the first thing I say is absolutely no. I've got no regrets in working in broadcasting now. I absolutely love it, but I remember at the start I felt as though this is my only other chance. I'm not going to get any, and it was that severe anxiety, and my heart was beating out of my chest. I thought, gosh, I've not been trained to do this, and it's all those kind of like negative thoughts. And I've learned over the years now, the fact that you're in this position where you get to experience a little bit of discomfort is a privilege. Now I really embrace being nervous. Yeah, I mean, are you aware of how many people are watching? No. On the TV? I'd imagine it's the same for you. Yeah. I mean, would you want to know? No. No. Absolutely not. Sit. I've pulled it. Oh my gosh. 5 it is. Bogey start. Oh no, I didn't move. trees in the distance up there.
Garmin, if you're watching, please sponsor me.
And me.
I think that's good. Oh, wicked. So you were saying earlier that you've played golf with Beef Johnson and he was giving you a couple of tips and stuff. What's the best kind of golfing tip that you've ever been given?
Okay, it's another one, another flex. Jose Maria Lafalvo. And I said, what would you say to play good golf, what would it be?
Yeah.
And he said, just enjoy it. I know it sounds simple,
That was it.
but that was it, like play with a smile on your face.
It's not life or death, is it?
No, that's it, yeah, that's it.
Just a game.
And you were talking about golf was a great escape for you, you know, you weren't allowed to do any other contact sports.
No football, no rugby, no cricket, no baseball to a point, basketball, that all went out the way. So golf was kind of the only one you can do where you're not really going to get yourself into too much problem. Although saying that, I was playing once in Arizona at TPC Scottsdale.
Amazing. Another flex.
Another flex. But you know when they do that on the 16th, they've got like the stadium hole. And they didn't have the stadium built at that point because it was off season, but they used to have the caddy race.
Oh, did they?
They used to race from tee to green.
Right.
And I'd hit my shot and I thought, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to tell anyone, I'm just going to do it. So I hit the shot, put it on the green, and just took off running. Didn't realise there was a 4-foot drop at the end of the tee box. So I'm in the air, still running, and I'm just going over on my shoulder, and I thought I really knackered my shoulder in.
Oh my gosh.
So it was almost like just limp. Get on the green, trying to laugh it off. Oh yeah, it's like blood coming down
Actually, in severe
I'm like,
agony.
I've got blood coming down my knees from where I've hit the sand part and everything. But it was great. I went par finish, so it was good. And then, but again, walking into the clubhouse afterwards, and the guy's like, "What happened to you?" I was like, I tried to do the caddy race. And they went, yeah, that's why we don't do that thing anymore. So there's actually a video.
Just
of
leave
a
it
guy.
to the professionals, okay?
The good thing is there's a video of a caddy absolutely stacking it.
I think I've seen this
yeah,
as well.
So I've done that.
Yeah.
So I could see it's been done, but then fortunately a friend of mine who we were with is an anaesthetist, so he said, take these.
Yeah.
And it kind of sorted me out.
Go on. Oh, I gave it everything I had. How do you spend most of your days now? What's an average day for Olli Phelps?
It's quite a lot of travel involved.
Yeah.
So we've done quite a bit of, my brother and I have done quite a bit of travel-based stuff. So we were just recently out at the Hong Kong Sevens. Do a bit of public speaking as well.
Right.
Dusted around the world, which is nice. And then when I'm at home, I've got two little girls. Our eldest just plays golf. Our youngest is 3.
Is that it, or do you want a boy as well?
I am done.
Yeah.
I am done.
Go on. Be good. God, everything is long.
I'll hit it.
Just smashed everything.
Who would you say is the best golfer? Have you tested this out yet?
Not really. We did actually a thing on the 6th movie on the DVD. So in terms of pushing the boundaries of what you get away with.
Right.
So the publicity girls, the girls who worked in publicity, they said to me, like, you know, we're looking at doing this extra special feature on the DVD. What about the driving range with you guys? I was like, yeah, could do. So there's James, myself, Rupert Grint and Tom Felton. So I said to the guys, I reckon we can get a round of golf out of this. So I went back and they said, yeah, okay, whatever you want. So I went back to them and said, yeah, we thought, what if we play a round of golf? That could be really cool. And they said, oh, okay, yeah, well, we've got listed a few courses nearby. And this was in 2010, so this would be what? May 2010.
Yeah.
I said, okay, what about the Ryder Cup course at Celtic Manor, because you've got the American market coming in. Oh, I think that could work, yeah, that could work.
Let me think about it.
Yeah, so
I'll get back to you.
So I went back and told the guys, said, we might be on to play at the Celtic Manor. Okay, we'll see what we can get. Went back. Yeah, it's all good, yeah, okay. I said, maybe we could do the day before so we can practice round and then so we've done it silly. Oh, great idea, yeah, perfect idea. So we did that, went back, told the guys, brilliant. I was telling my dad, oh, I'd love to play there. So maybe I'll ask the question. And he said, maybe ask my mate Rich as well. Went back. What if we play and my dad and his pal are playing behind us to slow the course up because filming is going to take a while? Great idea, we'll do all that.
Made the most of this.
Rinse the whole thing. And then ended up doing that and it made the DVD extra. So we went to New York for the DVD launch about a year and a half later or something. And there was Ron, who was the head of Warner Home Video there at the time. And he said, "Who said yes to that?" And you could tell he wasn't very happy. And I was like, "Look, I'll be honest, I told him the situation." He said, "Do you know how long I've wanted a golf trip on this company car?" So it goes to show, if you keep pushing, sometimes you can get.
That is
you can get
amazing.
good
How did
things,
you
yeah.
play in the end?
Played all right, although going about how competitive my brother and I are.
Yeah.
We were playing match play, and then so Tom Felton and myself won, and then all of a sudden we're doing the posts a bit like we're doing now, talk about it. James whips out a card. Oh, but strokes actually, we won. So it was a bit of
The head negotiator.
Yeah, that was it.
What's the coolest thing that you've ever done? Can you pinpoint one thing?
Okay, I've got it. Coolest thing I've ever done was we were doing a premiere event in Paris. And they said, they gave us a list of things we could do. So you're off on the Wednesday, and we gave them a list. One was like, typical tourist stuff, like go to the Eiffel Tower, go to the Louvre. And they were like, okay, we could do this, this and this. This is closed, okay. Picked us up at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we thought we were just going to go on like a tour of the city. Got to the Louvre, and they'd open it for us.
No.
So there was Tom Felton, myself, Aim from Publicity, my brother, my mates from home, Matt and Chris, and we had the whole place to ourselves.
That is
And
mental.
so, you got these people trying to get a photo with the Mona Lisa like that.
Yeah.
We were under the barrier with it.
Yeah, we're just going like that.
Yeah, there's also, and that was one of those things where, when you can't go again, because it was like,
That is
doing that,
amazing.
so
Wow.
that
Well,
was,
let's see if that thought's put you off this putt,
Okay.
because I need it to. If you're going to do it.
you shouldn't have told me that bowling line.
Well played.
Well done, mate.
That was wicked. Great putt. And thanks for destroying me on my own channel. You're not welcome back.
I know, yeah, I'm walking
I'm not
over
even going
it.
to bother with this putt.
I mean, we touched upon it very briefly out on the golf course. We're talking about siblings and that kind of rivalry thing. I think to a certain extent, by the sounds of things, 'cause I'm an only child, I wouldn't really know. It's quite healthy to have that sort of competitiveness naturally inbuilt. What was that like growing up with your twin brother? Because obviously everyone's comparing you to each other.
Yeah.
There must be somewhat challenges that come with.
Oh yeah, like we won't necessarily play together very often. We do more now,
Yeah.
but certainly growing up, no,
Yeah.
it would always end in someone talking.
Yeah.
Why are you talking on my backswing?
Yeah.
So there would be that over competitiveness to do it, whereas I think that maybe with maturity you lose that a bit, but you definitely don't want to be doing worse in anything.
Yeah.
Could be anything.
And finally, when it comes to acting or maybe even just following your dreams, what would you tell your little girls? What would you tell people who have an ambition in wanting to achieve something? You're at 14 years old, you've never acted before, you're actually thrown in the deep end. It's a big stage that you were on, but you really embraced it. And we're talking about out on the golf course, having a positive perspective and a positive outlook on things. How would you, go about following your dreams?
I'd say if you don't try, you'll never know. So just give it a go. And if you try my motto is be your best. So that's not be the best.
Yeah.
It's just be the best that you can do. That way, if you get it, great, perfect. If you don't get it, well, you can't really complain. And it's, okay, I've tried that, let's do something else, Whereas, I always remember when I was at school, so we got the part, and there was a few teachers who were so against us doing it.
Really?
Like, vocally against us doing the films. And I just think if I'd have listened to that, God knows where I would have been, but I wouldn't have had the life experience I've had, I wouldn't have the opportunities I've had. And if you believe in something, give it a go, because you could try it, like trying golf, for example. You can try it. Most people I know try it and fall into doing it, but other people do it and think, all right, it's not necessarily for me, but at least you tried it.
Yeah.
I think there's nothing worse in life than thinking, what if?
Absolutely. I think that's a really nice point to end on. So thank you so much. Really enjoyed your company.
Awesome.
And you beat me as well. So I'm going to have to work on my game.
Yeah,
You're
no,
not
thanks so
welcome
much
back.
for that. That was great fun.
Thank you.
Great.